Macedonia. Macedonia is on the northern part of Corinth. We're still talking about Greece, the country of Greece. There are some major differences between Macedonia and Corinth. The economic condition in Macedonia was considerably lower than in Corinth, and there was also a state of persecution in Macedonia. I could probably compare a church in Macedonia with a church in a rural area in an impoverished country. Another characteristic similar to the church in Corinth is that there were few believers that had a Jewish background. They were mostly Gentiles. We know that the church in Macedonia was informed of the great need that the believers in Jerusalem were experiencing. We see the exemplary giving of the church in Macedonia in the first 5 verses of the 8th chapter in 2 Corinthians. There are some characteristics of the grace with which the Macedonian church gave that makes it exemplary. Paul starts by describing how the Macedonians considered giving. For them, giving was a grace that comes from God. Theirs is a rich generosity. It is done with joy and is done voluntarily. They gave with joy in spite of their trials and in spite of their poverty. And the Macedonians gave according to their own abilities. I believe the Macedonians considered giving a privilege as well. And the giving of material possessions was just an addition because they gave it all to the Lord. They gave it all to others according to God's will. The Macedonians had experienced in their own lives the unlimited power of God, all that God can do when we give generously. Because when they were lost and helpless, Paul was there to offer them the hope of salvation. As Wes Tracy wrote, "You don't know how much you need Jesus until all you have is Jesus." That is why their giving is exemplary, because they know what great things can happen when we give. There is no limit to what God can do when we give and when we give generously. The church in Macedonia established a precedent that the church in Corinth is about to match. The church in Macedonia demonstrated already their sincere love for one another. The Macedonians have done much more than give financially. They gave themselves to that cause. They loved the believers in Jerusalem to the point of sacrificial living, and it was a joyful giving.